Hello and welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. This time I will be covering masks. I will be going over the basics of how masks work, the different types of masks, and some of the things that you can do with them that may help you in your quest to hide an embarrassment, single out a spouse, or give that special someone a banana for a head. So masks allow you to select portions of an image to show or to hide, but keeping the image intact. Masks are what you use instead of the eraser tool, which permanently deletes whatever you erase. With a mask, you can always go back if you want to change it, or if what you revealed scares the crap out of you. The mask itself is just a grayscale image where black hides the layer and white reveals the layer. In this case, I don't want to reveal that window. We can create any gradient and it'll create a fade where it reveals the background layer. I'm just going to alt-click on the thumbnail of the mask and you can see black is 100% not there, white is 100% there, with a faded transparency wherever there's a gray. Trick, I'll need a volunteer from the audience. Let's see, I'm going to go in and, oh, Pedo Bear, there we go, perfect. Alright, now we need something to put on top of Pedo Bear. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not going to go with the obvious. Ice cream. So, I'm going to go and do a quick search on DeviantArt and see if, there we go, I'll just search for a gas mask. And most of these look pretty disturbing. I'm going to go with this guy right here. Okay, so now I want to import them on top of Pedo Bear. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so I've imported him and he's automatically a smart object. And just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to rasterize him so he's just pixels. Don't worry about that if any of you have no idea what a smart object is. So in any case, I'm going to add a mask to him and do a quick painting of a mask. Get around here. Now there's different ways of making masks. This is the straightforward paint black or paint white on the mask itself, and you can go over and get rid of all that. Now if you're doing this with an eraser tool, you would have to click undo in order to get any of this back. That is now gone. But with the mask, it's just as simple as painting white back on. As you can see, everything stays intact. You can also create a mask by a selection. So if you wanted to take any of the marquee tools and draw around what you want to keep, you can do that and then click the Make Mask tool. And then from there you have your black and white pixel mask, which you can go back in and repaint however you want. for me, I like to do something a little bit more creative. You can create a decent mask by performing a better selection. I'm going to duplicate the layer and adjust its levels so I get a more black and white image. This is a lot quicker than what you would normally get if you wanted to hand paint most of it. And I can come in and just immediately take out most of the stuff that I know I just don't want. I don't have to be very accurate here. And paint it black where the goggles are. Nice and rough. Going to do a select color range so that I can immediately get all of the black. And that immediately gives me a selection of the area. Now any sort of odd details in here you would immediately get from that. From this point I don't really need that layer at all. And with my mask, I'm just going to apply it. It immediately does it there. Now because the selection used the color range, it added in a gradient feather where the selection was, so that's why part of this is a little faded. So I can take the mask, and because it is just a normal pixel layer, I can use any sort of adjustments. I'm going to go in and affect the levels, make it a little bit more high contrast, and perfect. So from here I can go in with the paintbrush tool and fine-tune any of this that I want. You can always go all the way in and get the silly little details. With a normal mask that's based on pixels, you can do adjustments and most filters. So, for instance, I can do a gauze blur filter, which will spread out the black and white image and make a nice faded effect. This isn't really good for what I'm doing here, but it's fantastic for introducing some pretty quick blending. The mask that you can create is what's called a vector mask. You use the pen tool and you can just go ahead and draw around your image that you want. Now initially it'll just create a shape with whatever default color you have selected. Bing! So what you immediately get is a black layer with a vector mask attached to it. Now the good thing about masks is you can copy them across multiple layers or just click, drag it, and move it to another layer. I don't need this black anymore. Get rid of that. And as you can see, my vector mask is now applied to the gas mask layer. Now, just like any other vector, I can go in and actually change this. If for some reason that were all the way out, I can go ahead and tweak any of this. And for as long as I keep this as a Photoshop document, I can go in and change my vector image however I want. On top of that, I could go in and draw my cute little eyes out. Because there's no point in having a nice little mask if you can't see through it at all the nice little girlies. So that concludes my tutorial on Photoshop masks. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any other questions, you can email me or send me some messages. I'll be leaving all of that contact information at the end or in the comments. Thank you.